死んだは初めて俺に伝えている。
絶望の匂いだ。
面白いこと見せようか。ほら、こんなにチンが多すぎて。
お父さん。
あかん。
ドナルド君はまだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ。
アメリカ万歳。ファイト。
絶対負けないよ。
ランドトゥライドだね。
出ろ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ。一回も言ってください。
おい、仲良くしてね。この世界季節にいけるかな。昔グレートだと大きにまたグレートになるかな。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコ掴んでいいさ。そう見晴らせるで。
What's going on, everyone? Welcome in to CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Major I. of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Friday. Let's get through the intro. We have a lot to talk about. There's a lot to cover. We're going to be here for about an hour and a half. Then FNT starts. Then we're going to do another CobraCast after that because that's how busy today is. Former President Bill Clinton is being questioned right now. And he is having his deposition going on. And I got bad news for the libs. Oh boy, it's not working out too good for the libs because breaking, former President Clinton testified under oath that to his knowledge, President Donald Trump was not involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Narrative destroyed. Oh boy, that's not going to go over very well, is it?
President Clinton said, that's for you to decide. And the president went on to say that the president, Trump, has never said anything to me to make me think he was involved. And he met with Epstein. So I know there's a lot of curiosity about President Trump. I thought that was an interesting thing that President Clinton said. So I'll let the Democrats have the podium and they can answer your questions.
I love how he's like, I'll let the Democrats have the podium because the Democrats all morning have been crying about President Trump. That's all they want to talk about is Trump. Now, here's what the spin machine will be. The spin machine will be, well, Clinton and Trump were both involved. And so Trump worked out a deal with Clinton and said, if you tell them I didn't do anything, then I will let you off the hook. That is where the narrative spin will go. You know that's what's going to happen. Get ready for that. That is where it will be. The Democrats cannot be happy about this. But you know what? Are they ever happy? By the way, Marmillan says pre-stream grift tax. Hail to you, brother. Locator for $1. Alex Aerok for $1. BMC CB says early stream tax. That's my favorite kind of tax. The pre-stream grift tax and the early stream tax. So we have this going on, and man, oh man, I do not think that they're going to be happy with that as it stands. So right now, Bill Clinton is still being questioned, and they're kind of going in on the Clintons right now. Here is Anna Paulina Luna talking about the testimony of Bill Clinton. Here we go.
That Jeffrey Epstein was running a intelligence gathering operation. In my professional opinion, I do believe it was a honeypot operation. And I do believe that there's a list of individuals who did engage in trafficking, were given these plea deals, and I'm going to name those individuals right now. The first one would be Leslie Groff. The second one, Sarah Kellen. The third one, Nadia Markova. And the fourth one, Adriana Ross. All of these women engaged in the trafficking of minors as adults. They were working and complicit with Jeffrey Epstein's operation. And in my opinion, they are not to be given victim status because they did partake in harming young girls. I remember seeing in some of the files, some of these girls were, as young as 10, 11 years old and older. And so obviously we have a lot of work to do, but I did want to come and give an update and that Jeffrey
So there you have that. So again, all of this is still kind of happening right now, and we're kind of just waiting to see if there's further updates. But with Bill Clinton under oath saying to his knowledge President Trump was not involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Oh man, that is hilarious right there. Ryan Miller says the meltdowns I've seen on Paramount buying WB has been amazing, and CNN are losing their minds over this because Paramount is going to clean house. So, okay, you are 100% right, and we're actually going to talk about this too, because the reaction to this story has been unbelievable from the left, from the reactions are it's clearly mentally ill people that are reacting to this. And it's all because the Ellisons have ties to President Trump. And so these people are so broken in their brains. And the things that they are saying on social media about this it's just insane. As a matter of fact, I've got this clip right here from MSDNC right here talking about it. A huge win. Thank you, Phil, says a reverse reparations tax. A huge win for the Trump administration. Netflix backs out of deal to acquire Warner Brothers. And listen to how this whole thing is being approached.
Netflix no longer in the running to acquire a portion of Warner Brothers Discovery, leaving the path now wide open for Paramount Skydance. The Warner Brothers Board of Directors yesterday declared Paramount's offer to be the superior deal after the company upped its bid from $30 to $31 per share earlier this week. Netflix then was granted 4 days to counter, but the streaming giant instead pulled out of the deal altogether. The co-chief executives of Netflix writing in a statement, "We believe we would have been strong stewards of Warner Brothers' iconic brands, but this transaction was always a nice to have at the right price, not a must have at any price." The bidding process has been complicated by
it's been great right here. Right-wing billionaire Larry Ellison, who is also one of Elon Musk's best friends and a Trump supporter, just bought the company that owns CNN. Quote, "Panic at CNN is off the charts. We are fucked. We are doomed. This is hilarious." CNN braces for Ellison's control. This is so good. I freaking love this, man.
Concerns over whether President Trump would intervene in the deal. The president recently threatened consequences for Netflix if the company did not fire board member Susan Rice, a former Obama administration advisor. For its part, Netflix will receive a nearly $3 billion exit fee paid for by Paramount. Joining us now, co-founder, editor-in-chief of Semaphore, Ben Smith. All right, Ben, let's walk through what exactly happened here. Netflix thought they had the deal. Paramount Skydance comes in and ups the deal. David Ellison, we note, attended the State of the Union address on Monday. Ted Sarandos, the head of Netflix, was in town, perhaps to tell them that he was pulling out of the deal. How did this all fall apart for Netflix?
The reaction to this news, it goes back to that meme that that has been shared many times. I know Elon Musk shared it. I don't know if we can. I don't know if I could find it right now, but it's about how the left has moved so far to the left that people that were in the middle are now considered right wing. And the reaction to this has been the same exact process, because I'm just here to tell you, like, yeah, is this it right here? Yeah, here we go. Open in new tab. That's all good, Doug. I just saw your tweet or your text. This right here. It's a little, but this is it right here. 2008, and all of a sudden the left just moves everything so far in this ridiculous direction, and to the point where you're like, well, hold on a minute. I still have the same opinions that I used to have, but you guys are so freaking crazy that I don't even know what the hell you're doing anymore. This is where the Paramount deal is taking place. Paramount is not, in my opinion, based on what we've seen up to this point, Paramount's not going to make some like overly far right-wing entertainment. They're just going to make more entertainment that seems more focused on middle America instead of the far left. And so the far left is reacting, going, you're making things for middle America. It's far right propaganda. Like, what are you talking about? You people are fucking broken in the brains, man.
And land in the lap of Paramount.
I mean, there are basically two things happening here. One is that the Ellisons and Paramount needed Warner more. Paramount is
not sure why they call Ellison MAGA. He's more centrist and right wing, because when you are not a far left winger, you are an automatically a far right winger in the left's eyes. That is how they have been treating people for years now. Again, yes, as Scottish Badger just says, Paramount is making Star Trek Discovery right now, or not Discovery, whatever that, Starfleet Academy. They're involved with that. They're involved with the South Park stuff. Like this idea that it's just this right-wing MAGA stuff is just insane. But it is good news. It's just not the ridiculous news that these idiots are spewing right now. Hail Dougie B for the 56 crap. Didn't realize you went live early. All good, brother. All good. I did see your message. I didn't read it, but I just saw that you had texted me, though. Thank you, Doug. Marmillan says, for fuck's sake, Piker tweeted, socialism is the moderate position. This is how far left they are at this point. Just think about that for a bit. Socialism is moderate to these people. Exactly. Holy crap.
it's seen in the industry as too small to survive on its own. It's got, it's got Yellowstone. It's got a couple of properties. They have some football. But in this world of these streaming apps, like how many apps are you going to have on your phone, and do you have Paramount Plus? And so they felt that they just need Warner, need HBO Max.
So forget these clowns for a minute. I just kind of wanted to show you the way that they are approaching it. And let's get a more level-headed take from the Critical Drinker, who uploaded a video this morning talking about this. Paramount wins. This is huge. This is a huge shift culturally, and not for the reasons that the left-wingers are saying either.
And call me Shirley, because this story seems to have more twists and turns than an Agatha Christie novel. Just when you thought it was all over, along comes a last-minute play to completely change the game. It seemed like only yesterday I was reporting on the sale of Warner Brothers to Netflix after an intense bidding war with Paramount in a $100 billion mega deal that seemed to signal a shift in the balance of power in Hollywood's. The beginning of the end for both the studio system and the theatrical release model, as all the major players were slowly being gobbled up and absorbed into the streaming giants. But then Paramount took a look at the situation and decided,
maybe so, sir. But not today.
and promptly upped their bid to a frankly ludicrous $111 billion, at which point Netflix decided, yeah, fuck that, bro, we're out. And just like that, Paramount had pulled victory from the jaws of defeat, seeing off Netflix in an exercise of raw financial power. But what the hell does this even mean for the future of filmmaking, theatrical releases, and the massive...
No, Jeremy, it's the same, only other faces. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't think that it is I don't think that it's anywhere near the ridiculous way that these lunatics on the left are viewing it. I don't think this is a situation where we're just going to be like, we have won. I don't think we've won. I think you're still going to see some very cringy content from Paramount, Warner Brothers, all of that. I'm not thinking this is a massive, massive win per se. However, if you're talking about Paramount versus Netflix, it is certainly a win. It's certainly a win, and it's certainly a shift for sure. No doubt about it. Now, I will go back to what I've always said. I would rather Warner Brothers not sell at all, but this is where they are. And this is not official. I don't know how long it's going to take to get this officially done. There's a lot of red tape and a lot of details that goes along with this, but this seems to be the direction it's going unless something crazy happens.
Slate of IPs and divisions under the Warner Brothers umbrella. Because let's not mince words here, Paramount now control a pretty massive slice of the media landscape. Not just entertainment IPs, movies, and TV shows, but news networks as well. What are they going to do with all this power and influence? Well, to answer that question, you should probably consider the man at the top of this particular pyramid, David Ellison, the billionaire owner of Paramount Skydance and the son of Larry Ellison, the world's third richest man with a net worth of almost $250 billion.
Fuck.
Ellison started in the industry by founding Skydance Media back in 2006 with nothing more than a little elbow grease, some can-do attitude, and yes, a massive infusion of money from his dads. What can I say, man? Having the world's third richest man as your father probably has a few perks.
Probably.
Anyway, fast forward a couple of decades, and David was keen to expand his business empire, and one quick and efficient way to do that was to buy out the struggling Paramount Pictures, which was the studio equivalent of a fixer-upper. It had lots of valuable IPs and networks under its control, but years of bad decisions and corporate restructures meant that it no longer had the resources and confidence to exploit them. That's great and all, but you might think that the FCC would have a thing or two to say about such a huge merger of corporations, especially when it comes to news channels like CBS on the line. Not to worry though, because as it turns out, David is good pals with the man in the White House, and I kind of like to imagine the conversation played out something like this.
What do you want?
Hey Don, any chance you could lean on the FCC and get them to approve that Skydance merger for me? I sure would appreciate it, buddy.
I don't know about that, Dave. People might have questions.
Well, if you could make this happen, I'll fire everyone at CBS and replace them with people who only say nice things about you.
Consider it done.
Cheers, bro. And so approval was granted and the deal went ahead. Paramount became Paramount Skydance and David set his sights on his next target.
Now, again, this is what you have to understand. This is why the election of 2024, it transcended politics because it was everything. This is all goes back to the 2024 election, and it shows the power that Donald Trump has, not just as the president, but Donald Trump as the president has more power than any other person as the president. He just does.
Warner Brothers, another studio with a shitload of potential and a ton of IPs that it's mostly too stupid or too incompetent to properly exploit. And funnily enough, another news network in need of, reconfiguring.
Ahoy there?
Don, it's me again. Listen, you know how you pulled some strings at the FCC for that Paramount merger? Well, I could use your help again. I'm buying Warner Brothers this time.
I don't know if I can do this a second time, Dave.
They have CNN.
We've got a deal.
The upshot of all this is that I wouldn't expect too many regulatory hurdles for this particular deal. And if you happen to be a big fan of CNN,
You'll be seeing a lot of changes around here.
but what does it mean for the entertainment side of things, which is what we're really interested in here? Well, based on Ellison's previous work as a producer for Skydance, it's not difficult to see where his creative sensibilities lie. He's very much an action guy, with a heavy lean-in towards male-driven properties with traditional heroes, and how can I put this? I don't think he's exactly a big fan of the message. In fact, considering Paramount Plus is rapidly turning into the Taylor Sheridan network, I think it's fair to say this guy sees Middle America for what it is, a potentially huge market that's been badly neglected in recent years, mostly by people who absolutely hate them.
And this right here is the point. This is not some far right wing. Well, again, by the standard of the left, anything that's not lunatic left is far right wing. So according to the left, yes, this is far right wing propaganda. But according to anybody that's not retarded, like people on the far left, this is just, it's a shift back to normalcy. However, I don't feel like it's going to be completely normal. I think you're still going to see things that you don't like, that's going to bother you. But that's kind of how the normal world should be. it shouldn't be a far right-wing message and a far right-wing narrative. It should just get us back to the middle of the road. And because we're so hypersensitive to so many things with identity politics and all of that, we are going to see these things stand out like a sore thumb. But it is a good move. It's a net positive for sure. It's just not the net positive that a lot of people maybe are hoping. And it's also not the insanity that the left wingers are saying either.
Imagine for a moment if there was a network that catered to their interests. Now, as you can probably surmise, the prospect of a multi-billionaire with conservative leanings merging two of the biggest studios in Hollywood together under his personal control went down about as well as expected with the usual crowds. Oh dear, it's a bit scary when you don't have an absolute stranglehold on modern culture and have to compete with other creatives that don't share your particular worldview, isn't it? Pass me the world's smallest violin, will you? I mean, considering Ellison owns Paramount already, his first order of business should have been to nuke Kurtzman Trek from orbit, decanonize every show they've ever sharted out into the world, and have the entire secret hideout team forcibly escorted out of the building. Fuck it, you can just buy out their contracts if you have to. It's not like you're short on money, but whatever you do, just get those useless retards out of there. But what about Warner Brothers' other IPs like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and the entire DCU? Well, I'd be lying if I said I was disappointed they weren't going to fall under Netflix's control. I mean, Jesus, could you even begin to imagine what a Netflix adaptation of Lord of the Rings would look like? We may just have dodged the biggest bullet in entertainment history. Wouldn't get too comfortable in that Warner Brothers office if I were you, James. That being said, I'm not going to pretend that this is an ideal outcome by any stretch, and I don't particularly love the idea of independent studios merging together into homogenous mega corporations, because let's be honest, it's bad for competition and bad for creativity. But on the other hand, if ever there was a definitive signal that the age of identity politics and the message has come to an end in Hollywood, I think this just might be it.
It is. I mean, the shift we have seen in recent years is pretty incredible. And I think it's going to take still more time for sure for us to really see this, I mean, even like, I don't know when Star Trek Starfleet Academy was greenlit. I would have to assume that was a few years ago or whatever. So you're seeing that cancer still within the industry, and you're still going to see things like that. This is not going to be where, I mean, look at Twitter is a perfect example. When Elon bought Twitter, he cleaned house. At least that's what we perceived it. Elon is going to clean house and it's going to be this amazing place, yada, yada, yada. But that's not really like Twitter is better. Certainly is better. But it's not like the most incredible thing ever. Twitter still has a ton of problems. There's a ton of censorship still on Twitter. And it's still just not what we all hoped it to be. And I think that's what this Paramount thing will ultimately become, is going to be something that there's still going to be a ton of problems, and people that have high expectations for this to be a MAGA right-wing movement are going to be disappointed. And the people on the left, well, I mean, they're already mentally retarded and they are going to be disappointed no matter what. So they're going to invent that this is some right-wing narrative already. So it really doesn't matter what those freaks think. But then you're going to have people in the middle. And like I said, with Twitter, we constantly point out how terrible Twitter is and all of the problems. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast. But Twitter is still better than it was under Jack Dorsey. Even though it has a ton of problems, it's still better. It's not as the gap in between what they were is not what we expected it to be, but it's still better. That's what you're going to get with Paramount. You're going to have people that want this to be so much better than it is. And then you're going to have people so disappointed that they're not going to be able to realize that while this is better, it's not what you wanted, but it's so much better than what came before it. And that's where I think we're going to fall. So we'll see.
Great experiment that's decimated pop culture for the past decade is well and truly over. Good fucking riddance. The only question now is when can the age of rebuilding begin? Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Good stuff from the drinker. And of course, we do have stuff on Geeks and Gamers about this, full coverage of everything that's going on, because it is a huge story in the world of not just entertainment, but pop culture and so many other, this is going to affect everything. For better or for worse, it will affect everything. So we shall see. Hail to the critical drinker. And yes, he will be in Orlando with us, along with Gary and the G&G crew, Ripa. It's going to be awesome. So hopefully a lot of you will come out there and hang out with us for MegaCon. It will be awesome. Will it though? Meaning what? Will it what? Will this be better? I do think this is going to be better. How much better is the question, but yes, especially considering Netflix was in the running to get this. Anything is better than Netflix at this point in time, because we've seen what Netflix is willing to do. We've seen everything, all of the garbage that they have put out there. So this is much better. There was one tweet that I was wanting to show if I could find it. I'm having trouble tracking it down right now because there was a lot of freakouts yesterday, man. And I mean, these people are acting like the world is coming to an end because of this. This is all, they are just panicking. They are crying. They are screeching. It's been pretty glorious to see because these people are retarded. Are you still going to watch Marshall's? Yeah, the Yellowstone spinoff. I'm going to watch it, but I don't have super high expectations for it. But I am going to check it out. Same with the, was the Madison or whatever. Again, as I've said, I'll almost certainly watch anything that Taylor Sheridan is part of, with the exception of Lioness. I'm not really going to watch that one. But generally speaking, yeah, if Taylor Sheridan's a writer or a producer on something, I'm going to check it out because he is, I would say Taylor Sheridan is probably hitting at about 80% for me. Probably. Most everything that he's done, even when you're talking about, obviously his shows, Yellowstone, Tulsa King, Mayor of Kingstown. I'm watching that right now. It's very good. Even like and just we all know his TV shows, but the movies he's been involved in too. I believe he wrote Sicario, Wind River. I think he directed Wind River. He wrote Hell or High Water. True Detective. He did not work on True Detective, even though True Detective is amazing. He didn't work on that. To my knowledge, he didn't anyway. But yeah. So the guy is very, very good at what he does. Landman. Yes, Landman is fantastic. So, I mean, the guy is got a good resume. Very good. He may even be up to 90% for me, but yeah, I can't bring myself to watch Lioness. I know that there's people that are saying it's good, but I personally, I don't know, man. I'm a fan of Zoe Saldana when she's got green skin, but I'm not really interested in watching her boss a bunch of military men around. It seems next level cringe, in my opinion. Okay, so that's that. This Warner Brothers deal is huge, and I think everybody needs to pay attention to what's going to actually happen. I think he directed it too. Don't forget that trash Angelina Jolie movie he wrote. I think he directed too. Which one was this? Talking about Taylor Sheridan? An Angelina Jolie movie with Taylor Sheridan? I'm not familiar. He may have. And Lioness is where his conservative politics really come into focus. Really? It came in like 4 years ago? I don't remember that. Rick said Yellowstone is mid, in my opinion. Just couldn't get into it. I thought the first 3 seasons of Yellowstone were phenomenal. And then that final season was really bad for obvious reasons. But Yellowstone was woke as fuck if you paid attention. I wouldn't say it's woke as fuck, but it did have some wokeness in it. But woke as fuck, I think is, there's some stuff that's woke as fuck. Yellowstone had some woke elements for sure. I like what is the Angelina Jolie Taylor Sheridan movie? I don't know what this is. I'm curious about that. And if you haven't seen Wind River, you need to watch that. That's got Jeremy Renner and what's her name from the Marvel movies. What the hell's her name? Why am I drawing a blank? Scarlet Witch. What's her name? The Olsen girl. Elizabeth Olsen. There it is. Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah. So that is a phenomenal movie. And I'm pretty sure he wrote and directed that one. I think. Let's see here. Oh no. Oh no. Hang on. Someone just sent something to me. This is gonna scare me right here. Here we go. A new G.I. Joe movie is in the works. Max Landis and Danny McBride are writing separate scripts. Then Paramount plans to blend the two scripts into one film. Listen. I just don't want anybody, like at this point, I just don't want them to even do anything with G.I. Joe. I would rather them just leave it alone. There are so many good stories out there. And G.I. Joe, you could do so much with G.I. Joe. You could do incredible things with G.I. Joe with the amount of characters and the amount of stories. And you have this new patriotic kind of mentality in the country. There's so much you could do with it. Now, I could take the two live action G.I. Joe movies and I could splice those together and I could make a decent story and film out of that. But the parts that you leave out are horrible that were in those movies. Like, for instance, this shot right here is from the second one. Cobra Commander looks cool as shit. Snake Eyes was awesome. Storm Shadow was awesome and Snake Eyes was awesome. And outside of that, everything else, like nothing else worked in those movies. So I don't know, man. We'll see. But I guess this is better than the Transformers, because the last Transformers movie teased a G.I. Joe collaboration. Now, if you look at the comic run that's currently going on with G.I. Joe right now, it's some of the best G.I. Joe we've ever seen. I can't believe they incorporated Cobra La into it because Cobra La was very hated back in the day. Even though I love Cobra La, I love the storyline. A lot of Joe fans hated it. And the fact that they decided to bring Cobra La back into these stories and intertwine them, a very ballsy move. So I guess we'll see what happens. But you could make a great G.I. Joe movie. I just don't have a lot of faith that that's actually going to happen. So time will tell. No to a very woke G.I. Joe movie. Yeah. And that's exactly what it's probably going to be. This is almost as bad as when Elon bought Twitter. I mean, I don't know if I agree with that. Elon buying Twitter meant I got my Twitter account back. The day that he took over Twitter, the day that it was official, was the day that my account got unsuspended. And my account had been suspended for a year prior to that. Do you think we'll see blacklisted stars like Dean Cain and Gina Carano make a comeback now that the Ellisons are going to rule about 70% of Hollywood? I mean, you would think that you would see something like that. You would think, I mean, listen, you want to make a G.I. Joe movie work? Gina Carano as Lady J. Done. Okay. Gina Carano as Lady J. Sign me up right now. Sign me up. Boom. You can make Dean Cain Flint. Okay. Boom. Ryan Gosling is Duke. I know Ray Park has had a lot of shit going on. I'm not sure if he's in a position to be Snake Eyes again at his age, but we'll see. Who should play Cobra Commander? An absolute nobody. So just put the mask on. Hire a cheap actor who's just thankful to be in this movie. Don't hire a well-known actor who has to put it in his contract that he needs to take the fucking mask off. Hire a nobody, pay him $1,500 and leave the fucking mask on. And let Alex Jones do the voice for Cobra Commander. That's right. Alex Jones is Cobra Commander. Let him do the voice. Ellison's, listen to me, okay? Just listen to me. Is this it right here?
Welcome back to InfoWars Nightly News. We're now joined by humanitarian and overall secret arrest commander living this night, Mr. Cobra and associate, Megas Minion, kind of like North Korea. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Cobra Leader. You pathetic little worm. How dare you call me Mr. Cobra? I am Supreme Cobra Commander. You call your petty bureaucrats, officials, and authorities. You will kneel before Cobra or face my wrath. You pathetic little worm. How dare you call me Mr. Cobra? Your supreme...
Oh, man. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. There is a better one with, he does the Cobra Commander voice. If I can find it. I don't know why that's not showing up. Wait, so he does Jesse Ventura?
The Genesis Communications Radio Network.
You know, there's a lot of gloom and doom going on, a lot of serious things that face society, but humanity's always faced with serious issues. But we have a lot of fun behind the scenes. I've been doing Cobra Commander imitations and Jesse Ventura imitations during the breaks, and John is asking me in IM right now to do those on air. I don't know, John. What do I get, for acting the fool? I do enjoy screwing around. I have to get in the Jesse Ventura mindset. I have to flash back to him screaming at my camera guys in a fun way, in huge arguments in the car with my spoiled colleagues who I could hardly conduct interviews driving in the car with them because they were enjoying.
You know, Alex, Navy SEALs, we don't get angry, we just get even. And we take our time. You got to sleep sometime. I'll do one later. All right, you want to hear Cobra Commander, John? You know, I should wait until I bring up the police state and how our police wear Cobra Commander uniforms. That was part of predictive programming through TV. They even drive the same black APCs, or what are they called? Hissmobiles. Yes, I watched the show too. I didn't watch the later series, but I was like 9, 10. It first came on TV. And you've got the international terrorist. You've got the international arms dealer, Destro, and that's basically a Donald Rumsfeld in the Carlyle group. But you want me to do the Cobra Commander, the Cobra scream? You really want it? Okay. Actually, come on air, John, and beg, and I'll do it.
Please, Jones, do it.
I really did it last week in here before the show, and people were in the other office.
He's working
they were
up
like,
to
is that
it.
a chainsaw in there? Everybody came running in here. But I don't want to hurt my voice actually doing this is like morning radio now. I've got to stop it. I've got to control myself and get into the news here because it's all extremely serious. And there may come a time we're not even on air if things continue down the road like they are right now. And I'll wish to God I hadn't screwed around. But you know what? We got to have a little fun, don't we? All right, let me do a Cobra. See, now once I'm on the spot, it's hard to do a proper Cobra Commander. You know what? I'm going to keep everybody on the edge of their seats. Later, when it feels spontaneous.
Damn it. Come on, Alex. There we go.
The Cobra! That's not as good as the one I did earlier. Let me try another one here. Cobra! That's not as good as the earlier one, was it? It's pretty good. People are probably going, what on earth? Cobra! There you go.
Dude, that is spot freaking on. Hire this man to do the voice for Cobra Commander. That's my casting right there. Hire a nobody to be in the suit. Keep the mask on. Bring Alex Jones in to do the voiceover. Boom. Talking about a $1 billion movie right there. All right. We'll see. Anyway. Okay. Moving on because there is a lot to talk about still. Let me see. Marilyn says, you won't please everyone. This stuff takes time, and everyone is so hypersensitive if things don't change immediately to their exact needs, then cry, just like all those that cry about Trump's second term. 100%. 100%. Agreed. Gold Center says, why didn't Trump talk about Epstein in State of the Union? Why is Trump not testifying in front of Congress? Why is the DOJ investigating deleted emails about Trump from the Epstein files? Yeah, there's an article I got for you. I don't know if I can find it. I think I can just recite it though, because I do remember it. So let me ask this one more time. So we have your question very clear here. Why didn't Trump talk about the Epstein in the State of the Union? Why is Trump not testifying in front of Congress? Why is the DOJ investigating deleted emails about Trump and the Epstein files? Because fuck you. That's why. Any other questions? I will not answer them unless you send a minimum of 20 now. But it's because fuck you. And next time, if you send anything lower than 20, I ignore you. So $20 and up, then I will respond to you. And we know you don't have it. So you're not getting another question answered. Ryan Miller got that one. Alex Aerocave says, MegaCon merch tax meta PC code 199. Magna North says, Paramount is better than Netflix. Prove me wrong. It is absolutely better than Netflix. Ryan's black girlfriend says, money or snatch begets money. That's the way of the world. I wonder who that account is. Doug Diggs says, thanks, Doug. 2 birds with 1 stone tax. Hail. Let's see. I wouldn't mind a CobraCast dog. Ooh. A lot of people still wanting some CobraCast 199 coffee, huh? Omar's Bar Music says, I was late for the pre-stream tax, so here is the early midstream premenstrual tax. Philip Butler says, it's been a year since I have been in Twitter jail. Mar Millen for 20 says, I'll front gold standards tax. He wants to know if his wife's boyfriend can ask a question if she donates 10 or if her boyfriend donates 10. Gold standard. You're making me money. I will say this. Because you're a pathetic loser, because your wife has a boyfriend that also needs to be acknowledged as a pathetic loser, the wall just got $20, $30 higher, $50 now, gold standard, just because of Mar Millen's comment about you. Now you've got to send a minimum of 50 before I acknowledge you ever again. Blame it on yourself. Blame it on Mar Millen. I don't care. Hail to you, Mar Millen. So yeah, $50 now minimum, or I never acknowledge your existence again. Red Walker says, nobody should expect pandering to the left or the right. Balance is what I hope for. Just normal good stuff. Agreed. Andy Plays Game says, I had a dream last night that Trump bought a retail store and put me in charge. I may be watching too much CobraCast. Joe Bitt says, as long as it's patriotic AF, new Joe film, I don't give an F. You and me both. Now, Bill Clinton is testifying on, or right now, as we speak. We don't have a lot. They're still live, I think. Let's see.
In So I will be calling on the.
Oh, that was earlier. Hang
Presence
on.
here today.
This was earlier as
Under
well.
oath.
Okay, so they're still in there testifying. It's McDoubles. Says Gold Standard. Can't do it. I will. You guys have too much fun with these clowns. So do I. What's up, McDoubles? How you doing, man? All right. Gold Center says, I'm making you money, Jeremy. I know. Make yourself feel that way. Make yourself feel that way. Gold Standard. I'm using you to make money. And I'm making you think that you're actually making the money. This is how next level grifter I am. I'm using you to make money. But I'm also manipulating you to make you think that you're the one helping make the money. This is how next level I am. You don't even understand what's going on here, bro. You're too busy worrying about Epstein files and Russian bots and all of that shit. Pyro Fusion Dancer says, I was saying the leftist meltdown over Paramount buying WB was almost as crazy compared to when Elon bought Twitter. Oh, similar reaction. They are professional victims. I got you now. I see what you're saying. Okay. Same as Twitter. That makes a lot of sense. You are correct from that perspective. Aided Clock for $100 says, quote, why aren't the people I don't like in the Epstein files gold standard tax? You love to see it. You love to see it. Now that is how you operate with some 4D chess moves. This is the greatest day of your life, Gold Standard. You're never, ever going to be like, this is the most excitement you have had in your life since you discovered gay porn. Okay. This is the greatest moment since then. Because we know when you discovered gay porn, that was the best day of your life. But this will be the second best day of your life, being acknowledged by all of these people in the chat on the single most important live stream in history. Okay. So there you have it. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, hey, Jeremy, I thought I'd super chat earlier in the stream. Thought last night was quite funny. You know, that was funny because the funny part was that you made Jessica mad. You made Mrs. ABF very mad. And she called you out on it. I saw that. She was, she says, even I was laughing despite what many may have thought. Hey, we got an extra clip. We got the Ben Shapiro clip in there, all because of you. So, hey, we're good. Check this out. Several Hollywood insiders are casting doubt on whether David Ellison's pledge to release 30 films a year in theaters after acquiring Warner Brothers is realistic. The company is seeking up to $6 billion in cost savings by eliminating duplicative operations in theatrical. That likely means consolidating marketing and distribution. These Hollywood people are losing their minds over this. I am very, very happy to see this. What comes around goes around. That's truly what we are learning right now. What comes around goes around. I like how the Variety is reporting on this G.I. Joe project, and they said this project will be a return to a major studio for Landis, whose career imploded in the wake of Me Too. So many people have been Me Too'd. I don't even know what Max Landis was Me Too'd for. I don't even remember this. I don't even remember him. I vaguely kind of remember him being caught up in something, but I don't remember. There's so many people that have been caught up in this shit. It's laughable at this point in time. New boss, same as the old boss. I don't know, man. I'm not sure I agree with that. However, I can't say that you're 100% wrong either. We're just going to have to see how this all works out. Time will tell. Wait a minute. Is it official? Warner Brothers Discovery just officially signed a $110 billion deal with Paramount, which transfers Warner Brothers Discovery to the Larry Ellison Media Empire. Is it official? I didn't think it would be official this quickly. Like I need to know, is it officially done? I'm looking to see. Yeah, I still feel there's a lot of regulation approval that has to go on and things like that. Paramount has signed a deal with Warner Brothers Discovery to acquire the company for $110 billion. I don't know, man. I still think there's a lot. No, I know. There's other people that are saying it. I know Dom. I know he clickbaits a lot. So I do get it. But other people are saying that too. Rob says Max Landis was an abusive and bad boyfriend. D-Day Cobra. Take that for what you will. Yeah, I mean, this is where the Me Too movement has no credibility whatsoever. Just like Me Too 2.0 has no credibility whatsoever. So when I hear that someone was Me Too'd, I like, even someone, if you guys remember years ago, there's a guy named Andy Signor, and I made a video about him because he got Me Too'd. He ran the YouTube channel Screen Junkies. And I never liked Andy back then. And I made a video where I basically said, I don't like Andy Signor. I don't trust him. I don't yada, yada, yada. But he got railroaded by the Me Too movement. And I think that I called out like all the people at the company that threw him under the bus. And then he reached out to me and he was like, "Ah, man, I can't believe," like, he's like, "It's funny you say you hate my guts, but you're willing to have my back on this." I was like, "Hey, I just call it like I see it." I had him on Geeks and Gamers, and we talked about all of that, but he got completely railroaded by Me Too. And he was part of that leftist world and his Trump derangement syndrome back then and all that. I know he's doing his own thing now. I don't talk to Andy or anything like that, but the point was that Me Too movement, he was one of the first victims of that. And even as somebody I couldn't stand, I still was able to take my opinion of him and separate it from the fact that the Me Too movement railroaded him completely. So, Me Too made it where women are complaining about men ignoring them now. Boo-hoo. Agreed completely. Cheesy Terry for 20 says Jeremy knows from experience that finding male on male spicy videos was the best days of gold standards life. F censorship. I've said many times, all these people say, "Oh, Jeremy's intimidated by women in movies." And I'm like, there is a whole genre of movies where I only watch movies with just females in them. In fact, that entire industry, the most dominant films are all female-led films. So I don't know what they're talking about with, like, female representation and not being, something that people are willing to go check out. I disagree completely. That in that industry, in that world, those are the most popular ones. Dude, I know from experience. Let's see. Johnny Sins carries that industry. Alex becomes a new member. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate that. You're talking about musicals, right? Yeah, 100%. Just musicals. Just musicals. What is this right here? Bill Clinton, who has a long history with Epstein and took 26 flights on his plane, releases a statement saying he did nothing wrong. Good old Big Willie style, did nothing wrong. Slick Willie. Reality is glitching. Is something happening? Something going on? Oh, no. If you know, you know. All right. Simple as that. Bring back Batfleck and Cavill. I don't know. I don't really want Ben Affleck back. I do think Henry Cavill's great. But I wonder if his time has passed for being Superman. I'm not sure. We shall see. Are they still live over here? So these idiots, they're just, I got to be like Fox now and just replay old shit. Just replay old shit on my live channel. Because that's what Fox Now is doing. They're just replaying old shit while nothing else is going on. Trump did say a couple of interesting things today. Let's go ahead and talk about those right here. That ship has sailed. I think so too. With Cavill as Superman, I think that ship has sailed. We had a couple of comments from Trump. I believe he said something to the effect of we might have a friendly takeover of Cuba, I think is what he said. See if I can find it. Right. And this shot right here. Look at all the people cheering for Trump. Look at all those thrilled young staffers bidding farewell to President Trump for the weekend at the White House. Look at that, man. Optics are just unmatched.
Primaries, try and win the midterms. That's a tough balance for presidents.
He's doing that right now. Aura.
And thinking about, on the plane, I'm sure he's talking to his team about these decisions he has to make. Let's listen in. Primaries.
Unmatched aura, dude. You can't recreate that, man. He has aura you can't teach. And he knows the optics game better than anybody. Young, vibrant man. Donald Trump could play Superman. Make it happen, Ellisons. Dude, Ellisons, you really want to break their brains? Go ahead and make Trump Superman. President Trump says he's not considering a national emergency for the 2026 midterms. Are you considering national emergency around the midterm elections? Who told you that? We need voter ID and citizenship. Pass the Save America Act.
Emergency around the midterm elections. There's been reporting that there's an executive order, proposed executive order about this. Are you looking at that? Are you considering that?
Who told you that? President Trump just revealed the greatest Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, is dealing with Cuba. There could be a friendly takeover.
Well, Cuba's doing very badly. They're failing. Cuba right now is, to put it mildly, a failing nation. And I've been hearing about Cuba. I said before, since I'm a little boy, I've been hearing about Cuba, and everybody wanted to change. And I can see that happening. Marco Rubio is dealing on it, and at a very high level. And, they have no money. They have no...
Do questions with the helicopter engine blasting. I love when this happens. Like they're trying to ask him questions. You got all this sound in the back.
No oil. They have no food. And it's really right now a nation in deep trouble, and they want our help.
So we'll see what happens with that. So should be interesting to see how this all plays out. Rubio, president of Cuba. Maybe. All right, so right here, Paramount has agreed to pay Netflix roughly $2.8 billion to exit the existing deal with Warner Brothers Discovery. Later today, Paramount is widely expected to officially announce its acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery. I thought the buyout was $5 billion. I thought the exit buyout was $5 billion. I'm not sure where 2.8 came from, but maybe there's something I'm not aware of, but I thought it was $5 billion. So maybe, I don't know. California Post. Is this even a real thing? Paramount finally closes blockbuster deal for WB, outbidding Netflix. You're looking at a fundamental shift, ladies and gentlemen. A fundamental shift. Hey, the Africa expert is calling me. Hi, Africa expert. I am streaming.
Oh, you're streaming? Call me later.
All right, bye. The Africa expert calling me. Yeah, I texted him last night and he never responded. So that's probably what it is. Oh, by the way, I got to show you this. All right. You have to see this. Speaking of Gary, I'm glad he called me because it made me realize he was on Piers Morgan. And this is one of the greatest moments in Piers Morgan history right here. Okay. You got to watch this. This is some legendary shit right here. Okay.
Let me ask Nadrotic this, because Nadrotic has been involved in a social media war with one of YouTube's biggest movie reviewers, Grace Randolph. We got a clip here. Let's take a look at this.
Sure. Not everybody, but there are certainly a lot of people online who are defending Mr. Davidson's right to say this word because they want to say it. And that's really the problem. Really take a hard look at anyone who's defending Mr. Davidson and ask why. I'm sure some of them are genuine, but some of them are not. And that is the issue.
Nadrotic, your response to Grace Randolph, who just sounded so dumb in that clip, just dumb, ignorant, ill-informed, dumb, and then decided to single you out.
Oh, yeah, she did. And my response is probably going to offend a lot of people here. My response was, you are fucking retarded. I'm not going to deny it hasn't been fun, because it's been fun. It has. Watching her retardation get exposed to the world.
So you guys need to go over here to Nerdrotic Daily and check out the video. Perry Chan with great editing. It's probably Perry Chan. I don't think that was QB. I think QB does the main channel stuff. But what an opening, man. What an opening. We got to watch it one more time. Okay, here we go.
I'm sure some of them are genuine, but some of them are not. And that is the issue.
Nadrotic, your response to Grace Randolph, who just sounded so dumb in that clip, just dumb, ignorant, ill-informed, dumb, and then decided to single you out.
Oh, yeah, she did. And my response is probably going to offend a lot of people here. My response was, you are fucking retarded.
Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, absolutely fantastic work from Gary Perry Chan. You guys got to go check that whole video out though. So good, so good. That smirk, the body language, all of that, it was absolutely perfect. Okay, no updates right now. Big Willie Style is still in the he's still in the hearing, so no update there. And we do have to talk about something. Okay. A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, it was announced that Ryan Hurst was going to be cast as Kratos in the God of War television show from Amazon. Okay. Hey, I didn't think that was a bad choice. I thought, man, I like Ryan Hurst. He's great. That I never even thought about him being Kratos. Great. Okay. That's an awesome. It seemed perfect. Well, we got our first image of the God of War television series today. Oh my goodness. This is bad. This is really bad. I was not expecting it to look like this. A lot of people are saying Atreus looks like what's the little dude's name that Mike Tyson thought the baby was? Hezbollah or something like that. It's just he looks like he's pooping. I know what he's doing, but it looks like he's pooping. He doesn't look serious. It looks like AI. It doesn't look serious. This is Horrible. Now, again, I say this as a person. I'm a huge fan of Ryan Hurst as an actor. He was phenomenal in Sons of Anarchy as Opie. Opie is, outside of Jax Teller, Opie is probably the most popular and beloved character of Sons of Anarchy, and he is the heart and soul of Sons of Anarchy. He's great. He was also Bertier in Remember the Titans, if you remember that amazing movie with Denzel Washington. I'm not going to just throw this out the window because of one image, but who decided that this should be the first image of Kratos in live action? Kratos is the most badass video game character in history. I don't think there's another character that's more badass than Kratos. Kratos is unmatched. You want to bring Kratos live action, your first image needs to be something awesome, not this. So, as much as I was excited for the casting of Ryan Hurst, this is a big fat L right here. So, he doesn't look cool enough. Nothing about this looks cool. This is terrible. Everything about this is terrible. This does not scream confidence to anyone, but this is where we are. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let me know. But based on this image alone, obviously, I have a lot of concerns moving forward. Kratos, there are such high expectations for him in live action. And I do think Ryan Hurst has what it takes to pull off the character. But he's only as good as the creative process involved. And the creative process is already failing him. Or I guess the marketing process is already failing him right here, because this is not a good first look, not a good first image at all. This looks really stupid and really underwhelming. So I guess we'll find out. Nandy for 50 says, looking at the God of War image release, makes sense to have Beardo cast as Kratos, as he spends 75% of his streams pooping. Oh, no. God. Honestly, I can't argue with this logic. This is solid, sound logic. So anyway, we'll see. But thank you, Nandy. I appreciate it. I saw someone else just send a $10, but I can't find it. So I'll have to see if I can. I'll see if I can find that one later, but I don't see it right now. It's not showing up. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure says Tyler Oliveria got his Patreon taken down. Yeah, that happened a couple days ago. So I know this guy does a lot of viral videos, so I don't know a ton about him, but you know, hopefully it gets worked out. There's a reason why I'm not on Patreon, by the way. Like, I've thought about going to Patreon, but Patreon censorship has always been a problem. So that's really not surprising, in my opinion. Beardo went off camera for 40 minutes last night. We suspect to poop. I actually purchased Resident Evil Requiem, and I played it last night. I've put in probably, I don't know, I'm like maybe an hour into it. It's really awesome. It's really awesome so far. I'm not too far into it, but yes, I'm very much enjoying it so far. I don't want to watch any gameplay or anything else like that, but so far so good. It's really good so far. Okay, let's see if there's any updates. Yeah, Tree Bear doing what Tree Bear does. There we go. Tree Bear doing what Tree Bear does. That was quick, by the way. Very quick. Okay, I guess it's a done deal. Paramount has paid Netflix to $2.8 billion to terminate its merger agreement with Warner Brothers. Paramount is set to officially announce it'll acquire Warner Brothers Discovery for $111 billion later today. I guess this is good, and that's from Bloomberg. So I guess it's going to be official. That is quick right there. That's very quick. Okay. What is this? Newly released Epstein file documents reveal that the FBI's New York field office was reportedly hacked on Super Bowl in February 2023. An internal FBI draft declaration states an unauthorized party accessed the system, including Epstein-related files, resulting in a permanent loss of approximately 100 terabytes of data. There you have it, right there. But guys, Biden was president. So why are we talking about this? Biden was president. I don't know why you guys are bringing this up. But Trump. That'll be Trump, guys. But Trump is real. We do have is this Marco Cubio? Marco Cubio. This is what he's going to look like as president of Cuba. I like it. It works. I sign me up. Right there. Is this live?
Yeah, you're fine. I think everyone hopped off to go to lunch.
Pool's here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, first.
Don't stay in front, pool, please. Thank you. All right.
Just first of all, a quick update. President Clinton is being very
This is earlier.
cooperative.
This is earlier.
I
don't think you guys mind
I've
looking
seen
though.
some back and forth in regards to some of the Democrats trying to call in not credible witnesses, and I won't get into the nature of what I've asked the president specifically until after the deposition is over. But to be clear, we've had two individuals. One that accuses President Clinton of unfounded allegations of there being sex tapes, etc., by the name of Sarah Ransom, and there was an individual.
Harley Day says, I have no idea what she's talking about, but I agree. Greg Kirby says, Jeremy, why is there a kid? Why's there a kid? In God of War? Atreus? Like, that's part of the game, the more recent God of War games.
Made up claims. We're not going to do the same thing for President Trump. So I think to be able to bring that up and conflate the two with this investigation,
I agree with
wrong.
everything.
And I want to be very clear on record. I don't believe that Sarah claims had valid claims against President Trump in regards to what she was, President Clinton as in regards to what she was alleging. Just as I don't believe that there are valid claims against President Trump by the individual of the name of Katie Johnson. What I will say is it has become very evident, even in the last 24 hours in lines of questioning, that Jeffrey Epstein was running a intelligence gathering operation. In my professional opinion, I do believe it was a honeypot operation. And I do believe that there's a list of individuals who did engage in trafficking, were given these plea deals, and I'm going to name those individuals right now.
Yeah, this is
The first
earlier.
one would be Leslie Groff. The second one, Sarah Kellen. The third one, Nadia Markova. And the fourth one, Adriana Ross. All of these women engaged in the trafficking of minors as adults. They were working and complicit with Jeffrey Epstein's operation. And in my opinion, they are not to be given victim status because they did partake in harming young girls. I remember seeing in some of the files, some of these girls were, as young as 10, 11 years old and older. And so obviously we have a lot of work to do, but I did want to come and give an update and let you know that President Clinton, as of right now, is cooperative and answering all of our questions. And that it leads me to believe that if we can remove the partisan nature of this investigation, we actually might be able to get justice. And so I will be calling on the Oversight Committee to bring in those 4 individuals that I just listed. We will continue to conduct the investigation and provide updates shortly for all of you.
What has the former president said to the committee about his interactions with Jeffrey outside of the Thank you.
I can't get into the specifics of the deposition because it's still currently going on. But again, he's being very cooperative, and I think that statement is pretty on point with what we're hearing.
Is foreign President Clinton saying he doesn't call anything?
We will provide updates as soon as it's over. I don't want to violate the trust that we have right now in the depositions, but I do think that we are at least getting a little bit more of a clearer picture. And I will say I'm not in favor. And if there is a request to bring in an individual who's made false allegations against President Clinton, I will be voting that down in committee, just as I will be voting down any individuals that are brought forward that have made false claims against President Trump.
Whatever happened to neutral, unbiased news? Seems like all networks are biased as hell now. Well, I mean, you're not wrong, but at least we have agenda-free TV, which has no agenda whatsoever. Steve Lookner has zero agenda. It's zero. Like you've never heard him have any agenda because it's called agenda-free TV. So at least we have that.
Against each other using this topic. And so we're more focused on that, as well as bringing justice to the victims. And there is no justice when traffickers are given plea deals. And so we'll be following up on that as well.
Congressman, I know you said being cooperative. Do you believe the statement when he said, I saw nothing and I did nothing wrong?
I'm going to go back in, and what I will say is that I don't have any reason to believe right now that he's hiding the ball and everything. He's been pretty transparent.
And is it your belief and or the committee's belief that the former president was targeted by Jeffrey Epstein on behalf of foreign nations?
It is in my opinion. I don't think the opinion of the committee, but I do believe that Jeffrey Epstein was targeting many politicians, many influential people, especially in regards to economic policy, etc. And I do believe that it was possible that not just him, but likely Secretary Clinton, as well as a number of other people, were targeted due to an intelligence gathering operation. I think
the only reason Bill Clinton's being nice and cooperative is because Anna Paulina Luna's in there. You know that. As you know exactly that's why.
President Clinton's as soon as possible. Thank you, guys.
All right, Representative Anna Paulina, they're giving the latest update.
Although Bill's seen better days, man. Bill has seen better days. Yikes. Woof. I don't know if this is from today, but Bill's having a rough time of it. How old is Bill Clinton now? Is he in his 80s now? Let's see. Okay. Dude, like, I love that this Marco Rubio meme is Marco Rubio on Friday. They're just, now it's Smokey from Friday. Like, this is what the internet does. This picture of Marco Rubio, it might be the single most memed picture I have seen. Holy crap. 80 this year? Okay. Locatus has tagged you in a photo on Twitter. Noted. Cheesy Tarian says, even if Beardo got on FNT, he would be absent 75% of the time going to the bathroom. God, I would hate to go on a road trip with him. Sergio's is still watching you after The Last Jedi. You're still here? Why? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I appreciate it, though. Hanging with me that long. That's pretty incredible. Okay, we got that. What is this? What's funny, that's right. So Netflix made this post on December 5th about their acquisition of Warner Brothers. Today will define the next century of storytelling, creating an extraordinary entertainment offering for audiences everywhere. And now the community note says, in February 2026, Paramount offered a higher sum of money than Netflix offered to acquire Warner Brothers. But Netflix refused to increase its offer. Because of this, Netflix will not acquire Warner Brothers. Let's go. You love to see it. You love to see it. That is glorious indeed. By the way, if you have not gone over to Ripasend, the hoodies, the return of the hoodies, all right? They are here. And they're only going to be here for a little while. So if you want to go over there and pre-order it right now, once they're gone, they're gone. And the one I'm wearing, that's the one we're selling. And then we have the MegaCon t-shirts right there. Orlando 2026 Geeks and Gamers with IDOT right there as the wizard. So if you're interested in that, once these are, and this is going to be a quick turnaround. Yes, turnaround. Let me in that post really quickly. Boom. In the description, you can click that link and it'll take you right over there. But you only got a little while to get those. Lady R&D says, ordered mine this morning. Are they warm? Yes, they're warm. Of course. And yes, the ARM logo, that's the only difference to this one versus the one I'm wearing. It has the G&G logo on the arm, and that will be the standard moving forward. So should be good. So check those out if you're interested. And I know a lot of you were asking for us to bring those hoodies back. So will the t-shirts be available at the meetup? They will not. So they're only available for this run, and that's it. Let me see here. Oh God, what the fuck is that? What in, I mean, did somebody Photoshop her hijab? I don't see any difference though. Really, that doesn't seem like anything else has been done to it, to my knowledge, unless I'm missing something. I'm not sure. Ehab says, I want Anna Paulina Luna to treat me like the Epstein files, tie me down, do unspeakable things, and not let me go no matter how much I beg. Bro, that is a hell of a super chat. I respect it. I respect it. That's a hell of a super chat. Most of the chat is going to agree with you outside of the direct, kind of, so it hits a little too close to home, but I hear what you're saying, bro. Jeremy the Cyborg says, had a really bad panic attack today. Luckily, I was already at the VA for a different appointment. Took 2 hours for it to pass. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Well, at least you're here now. I thought you were telling me you had a panic attack because of this image on the screen. So let me remove that because that's probably not helping a lot of people. And here we have it. We have to play it because here we go. Hang on. Sweet potato night. Sweet potato night. What are you doing? What are you doing? There's only one thing to say. There's only one response to have.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
I got news for you. That means you're gay. But yeah, Jeremy Cyborg, I hope you're doing well, man. Keep us posted, man. Appreciate you as always. What is this? Bill Clinton invoked a personal childhood story from his childhood ahead of congressional deposition into the probe into the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Clinton recounted experiencing domestic abuse in his childhood home in an opening statement submitted to the House Oversight Committee on Friday. He later posted on X. He framed the account as part of his broader response to questions about alleged ties to Epstein. Bro, get the hell out of here, man. Nobody believes this. Dude, stop. What a pathetic virtue signal. Good Lord. What are we doing? Yes, he's the victim suddenly now. Poor Bill Clinton is the victim. Poor Bill Clinton. All this focus, and he's playing the victim. And suddenly, again, one of the biggest stories that has come from this entire situation is that President Clinton testifies under oath that President Trump was not involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Uh-oh. Leftist narrative destroyed. Leftist narrative completely destroyed. Mar Millen says he was abused as a kid. Therefore, he is absolved from all wrongdoings. Everyone knows that's how it goes. If you're abused, you can go on to be a crazy psychopath abusing others. That's the left. That's how that's gonna be how they justify it for sure. So good job, Bill Clinton. He has exonerated President Trump. So now the Democrats have no leg to stand on as to why they would want to question President Trump. They all sat there yesterday and said, well, we don't even know why the Clintons are here, but we're going to question them because, blah, blah, blah. But we really need to question President Trump. Oh, really? Because Bill Clinton, your hero, said that Trump had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. So which is it? Which is it? Dude. I can't even read this. I can't even read this without this is after transitioning my straight friends started hitting on me. It made me feel like a piece of me. Oh, man. Oh, man. No, PhD Coyote says the episode of G.I. Joe where Sergeant Slaughter whips the Joes back into shape is great. Hell yes. TVZTQ says, well, that explains Ryan. Greg Kirby says Trump was the whistleblower in 2006 and 2015 debates. That's right. Get that out. Should I grift this? I got another $10 super chat. I don't know if I can see it though. Let me see here. Hang on. Jeb Bush. Gold Standard for 10 says, Jeremy, we do agree on some things. MJ is the GOAT. America's the best country in the world. We both respect our military, and that's a start, I guess. Are you pulling a Gavin Newsom now? Is that what you're doing? You just did the Gavin meme. Gold Standard. You just went Gavin.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy.
My parents are brother and sisters too, Jeremy. I'm retarded, just like you.
And I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech.
That was pretty funny though, Gold Standard. So even whatever your attempt was, it was still funny. Magnum North says, is that MAGA whale they were looking for? Phil McCracken for 20 he says, I'm just here to spend more than Gold Standard and I'm black. Boom. Storm Shadow says, G.I. Joe movie, Terry Crews is Roadblock, Jason Statham is Destro, Affleck General Hawk, J.D. Vance Shipwreck, Baron Trump as Duke. Okay, no, Terry Crews is, I can't say Terry Crews is Roadblock. No, Roadblock would have to be, well, the problem is most of the casting I would have at this point in time, most of the casting would be like people that are older at this point. I mean, I didn't think The Rock was the worst Roadblock, and I don't like The Rock. But Who would Roadblock be? I don't like, obviously, Ben Affleck as General Hawk. I don't like that at all. John Hamm as General Hawk is phenomenal. Michael Taylor, that is phenomenal. John Hamm as Hawk is perfect. Let's see. It was no different than his Luke Hobbs. Seth Rogen as Roadblock. I'll pass. I will pass. Yeah, let's get Ellen Page. Ellen Page can play Roadblock. We'll do that. Glenn Powell would play a perfect Duke. He would. Absolutely. Yeah, I have to think about it. But look, man, I mean, we're probably going to get a G.I. Joe movie, and maybe they'll follow the comic run that's going on, because the comic run is really fucking good. So Gavin Newscomb says, Gavin signs 700 and 900 bills into law every year, tens of thousands of pages of paperwork. Lol, he has read none of them. Let that sink in. There you go. Michael Gia White is Roadblock. He's a little too old at this point. I mean, I would have said like Idris Elba, but I mean, Idris Elba probably could still play a good Roadblock, honestly. I think he could play a good Roadblock. I don't know how old he is these days. Sydney Sweeney is Snake Eyes. I mean, I'll go see it. I'd go see it. Sounds like the governor here too, says Mrs. ABF. Karen Gillan as Scarlett. That's perfect, actually. Perfect casting. Cast Obama as Roadblock. And FNT is about to start. So we're going to wrap it up here. And I'm going to go live again a little bit later, because I was hoping we were going to get some of the Clinton stuff. But I'm watching that right now. Nothing's going on. So they're still doing that. So we're going to have to cover that a little bit later. And I'm sure that it will be a good FNT today. Gary and the crew have a ton to talk about. So I'll send you guys over there for Friday Night Tights. And then don't forget, we will be live later tonight. Later tonight, we'll be live again. So you guys can go check them out. And I do appreciate it. So later tonight, we'll have another stream, and we'll catch up on all of the news throughout the day. And I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me for about an hour and a half. So have a good day. Enjoy FNT. And we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.